Hello everyone, you've always heard the familiar advice, eat your vegetables, they're good for you. But after 60, that advice might surprisingly be causing you harm in subtle ways. Some vegetables, yes, even those that appear fresh and healthy, can harbor serious risks for older adults. From bacteria lurking in raw grains to improperly stored produce from less reputable sources, your next bite might not be as safe as you assume. Today we're delving into a crucial list: 5 vegetables you should potentially avoid after 60. Let's get started. Number 1. Raw sprouts at the farmer's market. Hey there, you've likely seen those small containers of raw sprouts displayed in the corner of your local farmer's market or grocery store, appearing fresh, crisp, and harmless. Perhaps you've even bought some, thinking they would add a healthy crunch to your sandwich or salad. However, here's a warning that many people over 60 don't receive. Those sprouts might be one of the riskiest items on the shelf. The issue isn't the sprouts themselves, but their growing process. These tiny greens originate from seeds that are sprouted in warm, moist environments, the very conditions that are ideal for bacteria to flourish. And because they are so delicate, sprouts are rarely cooked. This means that any contamination that might have occurred during growing or packaging remains with them all the way to your plate. Now here's where it becomes particularly concerning for people in our age group, as we get older, our immune systems simply don't have the same robust defense mechanisms they once did. Something that might only cause mild stomach discomfort in a younger individual could have a more severe impact on you, potentially leading to dehydration, hospitalization, or even more serious outcomes. And the most alarming aspect is that you cannot see the danger. These sprouts can appear clean, smell normal, and still harbor invisible risks. Even when purchased from a seemingly clean market, there is no absolute guarantee of safety. Vendors might neglect refrigeration, mishandle storage, or obtain their products from unregulated suppliers. The moment these sprouts leave controlled conditions, they become a gamble, and seniors are the ones who often face the most significant consequences when things go wrong. One of the most crucial senior health tips I've encountered is this: it is advisable to entirely avoid raw sprouts after the age of 60. If you still enjoy them, ensure they are thoroughly cooked, or, even better, consider substituting them with sautéed leafy greens, cooked cabbage, or fresh herbs from a reputable store. Your body deserves the safest choices, not the riskiest item on your plate. If you thought raw sprouts were risky, wait till you hear what can hide in a bowl of salad greens. Even the ones that look fresh and clean. Number 2. Salad greens that look too fresh to be true. Hi everyone, you know that moment when you sit down for a light lunch, just you, a fork, and a beautiful plate of salad. Maybe it's a habit you adopted after retirement, something that feels wholesome, clean, and responsible. You open a plastic container of mixed greens or pick up some romaine from the store shelf, thinking, this is exactly the kind of food I should be eating. However, here's a point that is often overlooked. Some of those picture-perfect greens might be more of a risk than a comfort, especially for individuals over 60. You see, leafy greens like lettuce, spinach, and arugula are frequently consumed raw. This means they never undergo cooking, which is typically the only process that effectively eliminates certain invisible hazards. Now, consider how they are harvested. Out in open fields, potentially exposed to unclean water, handled by gloved but possibly fatigued workers, and processed through wash cycles in large bins, and you begin to understand the origins of the problem. Even when bagged or boxed, greens can deteriorate quickly if they are not maintained at the proper temperature during transport or storage. And when they sit for extended periods on unrefrigerated displays at local markets or small shops with slow inventory turnover, they might appear fresh, but freshness is not solely about appearance. It's about safety, and for seniors, that's a critical consideration. The reality is that contaminated greens have quietly caused more health issues than most people realize. They can lead to infections that might be mild in younger individuals but are far more serious for someone in their 60s or beyond. You might initially feel slightly unwell, but that can rapidly escalate into days of discomfort or more severe health problems. Here's one of those senior health tips I wish were discussed more often. When it comes to salad greens, choose brands and stores you trust. Opt for pre-washed, pre-packaged greens from refrigerated sections, and always check the use-by date. Even better, lightly steam or sauté them for warm dishes whenever possible. This way, you still benefit from the fiber and nutrients while minimizing the silent risk associated with unsafe storage or handling. Type 2 in the comments if bag salad ever looked fresh but didn't sit right with you later. Number 3. Pickled vegetables from open jars or street stalls. You know, there's something nostalgic about the taste of pickled vegetables. Maybe it's that tangy crunch that reminds you of your mother's kitchen, or a summer roadside stop with homemade jars stacked high on a wooden table. For many people over 60, these foods aren't just tasty, they're part of family tradition. However, here's a difficult truth. Not all pickled vegetables are created equal, and for seniors, some can quietly become a serious health hazard. It's not the pickles themselves, but rather their origin and how they are handled. Street vendors or small markets often sell pickled vegetables in open containers or plastic tubs, left out without proper refrigeration. Some jars sit unrefrigerated for hours, even days. The salt may preserve the flavor, but it cannot eliminate poor hygiene or slow down the growth of harmful bacteria. Even worse, lids that are not tightly sealed or are reused repeatedly can allow moisture and air to enter, creating ideal conditions for contamination. Then there's the issue of salt. We often underestimate just how much sodium these preserved vegetables contain. For anyone managing high blood pressure, heart disease, or kidney problems, consuming high-sodium foods can put added strain on an already delicate system. That tangy flavor could be raising your blood pressure without you even realizing it. Now, I'm not suggesting that you have to give up the foods you enjoy, but when it comes to fermented or pickled items, especially from open-air vendors or unlabeled jars, the safest approach is to exercise caution. Look for sealed, low-sodium versions in trusted grocery stores and always keep them refrigerated once opened. As one of our practical senior health tips, a helpful habit is to check the label for storage instructions and salt content, and when in doubt, heat the pickled vegetables thoroughly before eating them. A quick warm-up can significantly improve the safety of your favorite side dish, ensuring it remains not just nostalgic, but also safe to consume. Pickled jars might tempt you with flavor, but aging potatoes bring a whole other kind of danger, especially when they look fine, but aren't. Number 4. Potatoes with spots, sprouts, or green skin. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever opened the pantry, picked up a potato with a few sprouts or a greenish patch and thought, it's probably still okay? Maybe you cut off the affected part, tossed it in the pot, and considered it done. Many of us have done this. It feels wasteful to discard food, especially something as common and familiar as a potato. However, here's the truth. When a potato begins to sprout or turn green, it's sending a signal. It's not just about appearance, it's about safety. Those small green spots or soft sprouts are indicators that the potato has started to break down, and when that occurs, the texture isn't the only thing that changes. The risk, particularly for seniors, begins to increase. Older adults often have more sensitive digestive systems, and certain compounds present in spoiled or sprouted potatoes, though invisible to the naked eye, can lead to nausea, confusion, or more severe reactions. The danger lies not just in the altered taste of the potato, but in how your body tolerates what has been developing beneath the surface. And here's the significant risk. These changes can happen subtly, especially if your kitchen becomes warm or you store potatoes in an unsuitable location. A dark cabinet that lacks proper ventilation is sufficient for potatoes to sprout within just a few days. Add poor lighting or limited mobility, and it becomes easy to overlook the warning sign. One of the most practical senior health tips I've encountered is this. When you are uncertain, it's best to discard it. If a potato is soft, green, has a strong odor, or exhibits significant sprouting, do not take the risk. Store your potatoes in a cool, dry place with adequate airflow and inspect them once a week. If you are purchasing in large quantities, reconsider. Smaller batches mean fresher meals and less waste, which benefits not only your finances, but also your health. If you've ever cut off a sprout or green patch and still cook the potato, just add a 4 below. No judgment, we've all done it. Number 5, street grilled corn or roasted vegetables left uncovered. There's something about that aroma. Sweet corn charring over hot coals, or slices of sweet potato crisping up on a roadside grill. For many of us, it evokes memories of fairs, festivals, or a leisurely afternoon walk past a street vendor. It feels simple, authentic, a little treat that seems harmless. However, here's where it becomes risky, especially for anyone over 60. Most of these grilled vegetables, whether corn, sweet potato, or zucchini, sit out uncovered for extended periods. They are often exposed to city dust, smoke, flies, or simply warm, stagnant air. Vendors rarely maintain them at safe temperatures after cooking, and once they have cooled and are reheated multiple times, the quality deteriorates, not just in taste, but also in how your body might react. It's easy to forget that just because something is cooked doesn't guarantee its safety. Food that is grilled and then left exposed to the air for too long can become a hidden hazard. For seniors, whose immune systems are often not as robust as they once were, this kind of casual exposure can lead to stomach issues that are more severe and last longer than expected. And here's another concern: the grill itself. Many carts reuse the same cooking surface throughout the day without proper cleaning. This means that what you are eating might have picked up more than just flavor. Here's one of those senior health tips that is simple yet powerful. When it comes to roasted or grilled vegetables, it is safer to prepare them at home. You can still enjoy that smoky, comforting taste, but with fresh ingredients, clean hands, and without the dust from passing traffic. If you are craving that food cart experience, wrap some corn in foil, roast it in your oven, and enjoy it while it's hot, not hours after it was cooked. Your stomach and your peace of mind will appreciate it. So, after considering all that, perhaps it's time we pause before grabbing a skewer from a street vendor or deciding to use that soft potato for just one more meal. Sometimes, the issue isn't the vegetable itself, but its history, how it has been handled, or how long it has been sitting. From sprouts concealing silent risks within their roots, to leafy greens that appear fresher than their actual condition, to pickles loaded with salt and uncertainty. What we often perceive as good for us might no longer be the optimal choice, particularly after the age of 60, and that's perfectly all right. It's not about eliminating everything we enjoy, but about making wiser, safer selections with our health as the priority. And if you have been following along, you have seen just how much a few small changes, such as checking your vegetables once a week or choosing gentle steamed carrots over potentially risky raw greens, can make a significant difference. When you are over 60, your body doesn't demand a lot, but it does ask that you pay attention to its needs. By selecting safer vegetables, avoiding those that might cause more harm than good, and thoughtfully building your meals, you are giving yourself a better chance at maintaining energy, good digestion, and peace of mind every single day. So here's the central message. This isn't about fear, but about understanding what supports your well-being and what might no longer be the best choice for you. Certain vegetables are best left off your plate, while others are precisely what your body needs to stay strong and healthy. From all of us here at HEALZO, we hope this has provided you with valuable insights. Take the time to consult with your doctor, drink plenty of water, and remember that your health begins in your kitchen. Follow HEALZO for more tips that are relevant to your stage of life. And if this has been helpful, please share it with someone you care about. You never know who might need this information.